So these are the best POV cameras that you could purchase at the moment. We have the DJI Nano along with the Insta360 Go Ultra. They are both tiny and they are both crazy powerful, and to be honest with you, they are both really good. But here's the thing, they are both good at different things, and by the end of this video you'll know which one is exactly right for you based upon your shooting style. Alrighty, so first, the DJI Osmo Nano has this clean minimalistic vibe. If you're going with that, you've got the DJI logo right here on the front of the action pod and also on the right side of the base, and they have two big recording buttons, so it is literally impossible to miss when you actually need to just quickly record your content. Now, the Insta360 Go Ultra, it's got a cleaner body in my opinion. No logo on the action pod at all, but it is a bit chunkier, especially when it is dark. Not a deal breaker, but something that you'll notice if you're switching between the two. But these are both POV action cameras, which and most of the time you'll probably be using them outside of their docking station to be most inconspicuous. But just remember that the DJI has its logo, which tends to be less cleaner and harder to hide than that of the Insta360. Screen size is interesting here. DJI went smaller and more compact, which honestly makes it super easier to mount anywhere, but Insta360 has this larger display that's way easier to see when you're outside in bright sunlight, or even if you're just framing shots on the fly. That bigger screen is clutch. Bigger is just better in my opinion for framing shots. And for the interface, DJI keeps it simple, straightforward menus, and that's something that I've noticed across their products, along with that physical red action button that I mentioned. For the Insta360, it hides that start button, and the Insta360 also can be controlled with hand gestures and voice commands as well, and more touch gestures, and that bigger display just makes it reviewing footage so much easier. If you're on the fly and just want to make sure that things were captured correctly, having that bigger display is a plus. Bottom line on the design, the DJI is built for speed and action versus the Insta360 that feels more premium and has a ton more features. Both work, but it's just based upon your preference. Here's where things get interesting. These two cameras handle storage completely differently. The DJI Osmo Nano comes with either a 64 or a 128 gigs built in storage, but the base can also utilize memory cards, but this records initially to the internal storage of the pods themselves, and this does not transfer automatically. Only way out is to transfer via the USB to your preferred device, which to be honest is no biggie. However, Insta360 went the opposite direction. No internal storage, none at all. It uses micro SD cards up to 1 terabyte of storage, which means you could swap cards instantly, keep multiple cards in your bag, and never stop shooting. For me personally, I love the flexibility of swapping cards, but if you're a set it and forget it person who doesn't want to think about memory cards, the Nano's approach is honestly really nice. And for the accessories, DJI gives you the essential magnetic head clip, magnetic lanyard, and just basic mounts. It's practically stuff that gets the job done. No frills, just what you need to start creating. Insta360 though, they went all out. You get a easy clip, magnetic pendant, bike mount, a dive case, even animal mounts if you want to strap this thing to your dog. And because Insta360 has been doing this way longer, there is a massive ecosystem on first party and third party accessories for literally every scenario you could think of. So if you're someone that loves the creative angles and experiencing a different setup, Insta360 is just a clear win here. But if you want something right out of the box, straightforward, DJI also has you covered. Alrighty, so I'm at the widest settings for both of these, and just to give you guys a perspective of what you could expect the widest for these, I do believe that the DJI is a little bit wider, and even just looking at the view here, I do believe that the DJI is a little bit wider, just by a little bit, but let's see. I could be wrong. No, well, it looks like I'm wrong. Now looking at the footage, the Insta360 looks like it has a wider view, but so far image quality looks good coming out of both. I do realize that there's a little bit more on the controlling side of the flare that you can see of the sun in the top right corner. DJI does do a better job of that in my opinion, but so far it looks good. And as mentioned before, just having a larger screen just makes it a lot easier of framing, and even with that focusing of your face itself, I'm able to see that I'm actually just zoomed in, and I could actually see like my face is in focus here as well. Stabilization is turned on, and let's just see how the footage looks. I feel like I'm gonna fall looking back and forth with this, but let's actually see how the footage comes out for these, which is more stabilized. I feel like I am going to fall. Okay, that's it. That is it. Whew. Hopefully my wallet is still in my pocket. Let me just make sure. My keys are still here. Both are incredible smooth, like shockingly good for the cameras that this small, but DJI feels more natural and locked in straight out of the camera. Insta360 gives you more control in post if you want to adjust the horizontal or crop differently. For quick turnaround, DJI; for more control and tweaking, Insta360. In daylight, both look fantastic. Color science is solid, sharpness is on point. In a low light, DJI edges ahead slightly thanks to that bigger sensor, but for flexibility and being able to reframe in post, Insta360 takes it. Audio and POV are always tricky, but both of these surprise me. Okay, so let's capture some audio. Kind of want to hear what the difference between these two are. Okay, so let's capture some audio. Kind of want to hear what the difference between these two are. Out of the box, Insta360 sounds richer and better with noise handling, but if you're planning to use an external mic anyway, DJI gives you more options there. Both of these have their companion apps, and this is where you spend most of the time if you're editing on your phone. DJI's Mimo app is clean. It is pretty basic on the AI features. It gets the job done, and to be honest, no complaints there. The Insta360 app though, and their desktop software is legitimately impressive. You've got the AI framing, auto highlights that actually work, proper timeline editing. It just feels like a real editing suite, not just a transfer tool. If you're the type who edits quick clips for either Instagram or TikTok from your phone, Insta360 ecosystem is just more polished. It will save you a ton of time. So which one should you actually buy? Get the DJI Nano if you want something that is simple, affordable, and you want the best image quality coming out of your camera. This is perfect for vloggers and even content creators that want a minimal setup and still wants to be able to get the best image quality coming out of their POV cameras. And remember that you have D-Log, which you could also color grade to match your other pro grade camera settings. Get the Insta360 Ultra if you're all about the creative shots and you want to be able to have ideal hands-free content. This is great for persons who are adventurers or even just content creators that are always traveling and want to be able to have speed and flexibility as the core values of their system. Quickly upload your content after shooting it to social media, and with the help of the AI tools that I did mention, you could easily get your content out. But to be honest with you, both are exceptionally good cameras. One is good for effortless quality and the other one is good for effortless creativity. The ideal question is, which one is best for your storytelling? Let me know in the comment section below. But if this video was extremely helpful for you making your decision between the DJI or the Insta360, please let me know in the comment section below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. But I feel like that kind of wraps it up for this video. Peace out, God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.